Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe, and everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a blackout general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, just simply check out description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Keep in mind that tarot and divination is just a tool. It's not the final rule. So let's have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. Collective, I hope you're doing great, and I hope that this message finds you and create and intrigue a spark of wisdom within you, as well as an idea of how to maintain a high vibration when it comes to your frequency at this time. And this is a blackout a download tarot read that I am presenting to you. And Spirit wants me to convey the message for you to stay calm, no matter what you witness, no matter what you may be feeling, whether you are feeling emotionally disheveled, spiritually disheveled. Maybe there are some things that you are feeling uneasy about. Maybe there are some things you are unsure about. Spirit wants you to keep in mind that you have full control over yourself always and how you respond to different situations. And it does not matter who we are, our tax bracket, our upbringing, but we all have feelings, we all have emotions. And, there are things that cannot be ignored, you know, and there are things that can be ignored at the same time. But Spirit is saying for you to make sure that you're staying in alignment and centered with yourself. Make sure before you choose to react or respond in a negative way, before you choose to allow, I'm seeing, the devil energy, to intrigue you or persuade you to pull your energy in a negative way of reaction, whether this is verbally responding or maybe possibly being intrigued to get into a physical altercation. This could be whether inside your home, outside your home. Be mindful of getting into discussions, debates, or giving your opinions about what's going on in the media, things you're hearing about the community, changes that are occurring outside around you in the world, worldwide, especially when it comes to politics or any adjustments that may be occurring. This does not mean that you are ignoring the truth or the state of being that your life may be enduring some changes. Your household may be enduring some changes. But Spirit, wanted me to share the message for the collective to be mindful of reacting, to be mindful of becoming in the energy of a hostile mood, to be mindful of allowing anyone or anything to trigger you and put you in the energy of wanting to be confrontational. And Spirit is also saying to keep in mind that there are many of people, who are like the Ace of Swords upside down. They are not in the energy of being able to know the direction or receive clarity or answers from source or the divine, at this time. We all are on different levels. We all are learning and growing at different rates. So they want you to keep that in mind, as you move about on a daily, as you're waking up each and every day, remaining grateful and thankful, and maybe getting ready for work, preparing your children for school, and going about your day-to-day routine. Source just wants you to be mindful. This is not a message of fear. We do not work out of that frequency here. It does not exist, okay? But this is just a message of awareness, this download, to be mindful that the energy is heightened. And there are a lot of people who are very emotional and, are in the energy of just not feeling their best. Okay. Some of us, are spiritually tapped in, or, we have a belief system, or, some kind of religious or spiritual practice that we do honor or we trust in. And there are some who don't, and it's okay, but Spirit wants you to keep that in mind. Be mindful. This is a good time to not even engage in topics or conversations. This is a wonderful time, I'll repeat, to not engage. You can speak and communicate and say hello or happy holidays if you do subscribe to the theory of holidays, to each his own. All are welcome on this channel, but there are some people who subscribe to the theory and some who don't. But as you move forward in the season, the holiday season is coming. If someone wants to say Merry Christmas or Happy Thanksgiving, it's okay to do such things, but be mindful, Spirit is saying, of engaging in conversations or topics that are sensitive or that can turn to some kind of confrontation or friction. You want to stay away from those kind of conversations, because there are people who are confused at this time, or stressed or worried or feeling overwhelmed. And a lot of times people are harnessing a lot of dark negative energy, and they are looking for a source or a space to inflict their energy onto. So Spirit is saying be mindful of these things. Energy is rampant. You may not be someone who's having any kind of financial hardship or any kind of change within your home at this time, but doesn't matter what your situation is. Spirit is saying, just be considerate that everyone is not in the same space or place. If you do worship and honor the holidays, go ahead and enjoy your holiday celebration with your family. Go ahead and prepare your meals and enjoy yourself. But just be mindful that there are people who may be very emotionally distraught. Okay. Concerned about some things that they feel. Notice the emphasis on they feel that, is out of their control, or they feel it will never be a solution. And from moment to moment, you never know where your goal lies. You never know where favor and blessings are going to arrive in your life. And Spirit wants you to maintain a high frequency, expect a positive outcome, trust and know that there's a higher power always working for us on our behalf, no matter who we are or what our belief system is. This is the time, and any time in life where you feeling if things are iffy or you're not so sure, Spirit wants you to take all that you have inside of you, outside of you, and around you, and do the best you can, but remain grateful and remain centered. Do not allow your faith to be wavered. There will be consistent changes. There will be surprises out of nowhere, where you think things are smooth and everything's okay. And then you're back into the energy of having to be concerned, about different things in life, period. Whether it's finances, whether it's how you're going to eat, whether it's how you're going to worship or honor the holiday, those kind of things. And Spirit is also saying to never ever forget that whenever you feel or that you are experiencing a dark moment in your life, there is always light in every dark moment. There is always a positive in any situation that you feel that is negative. And so Spirit is saying, in these times that you feel, emphasis on you feel, because everyone feels differently, okay? That you may be experiencing something that is impacting you emotionally, financially, spiritually, to always trust and know that there is a purpose that is greater for all parties that are involved. There is light in that dark situation. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we cannot see it at the beginning, if we're in our emotions so much so that we're saturated in the what ifs and the negative parts, that sometimes, the good part or the light of the situation, we may not be able to see it right away, but it is there. It exists. And so Spirit want me to convey this message and let you to know that, that the sun energy, the sun card, is always present. The sun will always shine again and again. Nature takes care of its own. And we have been present and privy to see this in our life. Season after season, as the seasons change, nature is constantly taking care of its own. As the beautiful leaves fall off the trees, and I love the fall. I love the fall colors. I think it's beautiful. The colors are very alluring and warming. Um, the leaves fall off the trees, but when it's bloom season, fresh leaves come onto those branches, and just as well as the flowers and the grass and anything else around us out in nature. It takes care of itself, just like when it's raining and it's wet outside, or it's thundering and lightning, that rain is needed and necessary, you know, uh, in order to reproduce, to water the soil, the food, the farms, the vegetables, the fruits. We need the cleansing. We need our rain. And it's a beautiful thing, nature taking care of its own. And when I think of the winter, things being cold and frozen, but it's an opportunity. People are outside, not as frequently as they would be outside in the spring and summer. But in the wintertime, things are cold and frozen outside, but it's still a good time to go within, just like people may remain more in their home than outside of their home because of the temperatures. It's a good time to go within thyself as well, and make sure that you're fine tuning your spiritual connection. Okay, so just as well as you're inside your home, you can go inside of the number one home, which is your temple in your vessel. And so Spirit is saying, make sure that you keep your connection fine tuned, as the seasons change, and that you find the light in any situation that you may feel is impactful to you in a negative way, because there is a positive in any situation that you feel may have you losing sleep at night, maybe up crying and being emotional. There is something in that situation that you can't see at the beginning, but eventually, if not in the moment, if not in that day, you will look back and you will say, aha, that's what that was for. And you will find the lesson to be learned. And so, yeah, so always find the light in dark situations, uh, because there is light, there is a positive, and nature is constantly taking care of its own. The animals run about, and there are many animals that live out in nature, and they thrive and they survive and they do well, and, whoever you are listening to this message, you will be fine and you will do well as well. Okay. But yeah, keep your head up and trust and believe that it is working for your highest good, because the sun energy is here, and the sun will continue to shine forever, ever, forever, ever. Okay. And and also the king of cups, is present. The throne is always available. I'm picking up the king and queen of the cups energy now. And when I speak of thrones, I always, it reminds me of having a rite of passage, or earning your right to be in a particular position. And so Spirit is saying, trust and believe. And the queen and the king of cups also speaks of a mature energy that is experienced in a particular area. And so Spirit is saying that you've done this several lifetimes before. You've been here and you've done that, whether you remember it or not. But your confirmation is where you are currently in your life. So whoever you are and whatever you're dealing with, and anything that you are coping with and you feel it is impacting you in a negative way, that is your confirmation that you have done this before, whether you can remember it or not. So you were placed on this timeline to endure this event, to witness the things you are hearing and seeing because you've done this before. And Spirit is saying you are well equipped and you are well prepared. And remember, we are constantly in the energy of evolution, and change is constantly happening for us for our highest good. And so, Spirit wants you to understand that, there's understanding and there's understanding. And, when you understand something, this is Lady Noble's opinion, that you are able to observe it. You are able to stand up under it outside of the situation, and you're able to observe what is taking place before you. The understanding is having a connection spiritually within yourself and finding and figuring out what is the lesson for me to learn in this moment, in the present, with what is taking place outside around me. So when I say understanding, that is what Lady Noble is referring to. Being able to connect to the thing, the moment, the idea, the event, and understand why. There a connection? Is there something for me to learn from this experience? Fine tuning and being connected to have an understanding and a knowing of what is taking place, just like knowing thyself, constantly doing the work to know thyself, knowing who you are and where you are makes it easier for you to understand what's taking place before you. And the more work that you take time to patiently do on yourself in your own way, in your own timing, the more you'll be able to land on your feet. The more you will become accustomed. Whenever there is a storm a brewing, you will not become rattled. You will not become distraught, but you'll know how to be in alignment, you know, and you will be preparing your aura, your energy, your frequency, your vibration to sustain the storm that is a brewing around you. And you're able to be still and you're able to see yourself through to the other end. So I trust and hope that this message finds you and create a spark in you and intrigues you to, see the cup half full. And we're constantly in the energy of evolution, and do not allow one moment of information collective, one moment collective of information to intrigue you to make the wrong choices. And be mindful of having people around you, not just at this time, but in your life period. If you are someone who is interested in self awareness, self love, self investment, if you're interested in progressing forward and enjoying the bliss and prosperity that source in the universe has that is awaiting for you, be extremely mindful of hanging around or allowing people around you who have the energy of, let's go do this, let's go do that, who wants to turn up, who wants to run amok, who wants to do something frivolous or something that can get you into a situation that you will regret. Do not allow anyone to heighten your emotions or feelings to where you make the wrong decision or choice. Be mindful that energy is coming through so strong, okay? Be mindful. There are some people whom are not able to understand or understand a message such as what I am conveying, and that is okay and is perfectly fine. But be mindful of allowing yourself to have the wrong people around you in your life or in your household who are likely to persuade you or tempt you to do things that you could live to regret. Late in the midnight hour, things can and will be turning around. So do not let anyone persuade you. And it's coming through heavily. There are some people who has energy around them who is trying to intrigue them and persuade them to do things that will only lead you to a dead end situation, that will only place you in a situation that will be fruitless and not fruitful. Be mindful of this energy. Do not let people talk you and persuade you into feeling, being, or thinking that you're hopeless. Do not let people talk you into believing, thinking, or feeling that you are not loved by the divine, that you will not be provided for. Do not become anxious and nervous. And listening to this message, you know who you are. Do not allow it. You have to not allow these kind of people into your life. That is not a friend. That is not your woman. That is not your man. That is not family. That is not love. If they are trying to persuade you or intrigue you to do things that can get you in fruitless situations, get you in situations that could possibly lead to you being incarcerated or paying restitution. We are here on planet Earth to learn and grow. And whether we are in agreement of what is taking place or not, we do have full control of how we respond to different events. And it's coming through so strong. There are some people with folks living in their household, possibly lying in their bed next to them, possibly eating at their dinner table with them, who wants to persuade them to engage or involve themselves into actions and activities that can be misleading, that can lead them to a fruitless situation, a situation that they could possibly live to regret. Be mindful, collective. Be mindful. That is not a person expressing love if they want to talk you into doing something that they know could have a bad response or repercussion. That is not a friend. That is not consideration. It's very inconsiderate, and it shows that that is someone who could care less about your well-being or your stability. And just because you know of someone who loves to live a risky lifestyle doesn't mean you have to partake. You can separate yourself and even pull away from the judgment of judging them. Allow people to be who they are, but make sure you're not involved. That means you're mindful of not allowing this kind of energy into your circumference of your home, around you, around your children, around your family. You don't need that energy tainting, your vibration, your frequency, your positivity. You could be someone who, you want to remain positive. You want to remain hopeful. You want to trust and believe and practice your faith. Does not matter what your belief system is. All are always welcome on my channel. But in order to sustain your potential and your growth and development, you can't allow this kind of energy or people around you at different times of your life, at any time of your life for that matter. Because while you're trying to see the cup half full, they will constantly find ways to persuade you that it's empty. And that's an illusional. It's far from the truth. Do not allow that demonic or that devil energy to attach itself or have access to your home or to your family or to your present or to your future or your goals. Do not allow that energy into your home because it can impact you, your family, your cat, your dog. If you have pets, seriously, it can impact you and affect and taint your energy of your home. Stop some blessings and opportunities from coming through because you have the wrong energy and the wrong people around you. So Spirit is saying that you know who these people are. You're very aware of who this person is that I am speaking of, person or people. These are people you need to disconnect from. You need to sever ties. And the reason you need to sever ties is because you need not to judge them. Allow them to be who they are. We're not put here to tell people what to do. We can encourage each other. But Spirit is saying to let them be themselves and let them find their own way. So that's why it's the message is coming out like that. You need to separate yourself. You need to no longer allow these people into your home at your dinner table. You need to no longer answer the telephone for these people. You need to no longer respond to invites if these kind of people are inviting you places. And this could be male or female. This is not just a masculine energy. You know, Gender is fluid in tarot, okay? Both energies reside, masculine and feminine in all. From time to time, one energy may outlead the other, and sometimes they are in balance. But don't allow it. That energy, that download is here so strong. Tell them to be mindful of persuasion. If it's beans and rice, it's beans and rice until things change. And you don't need anyone around you trying to let you know or not let you know, but trying to inform you that change isn't possible or make you feel or think otherwise. If you're expecting a positive outcome, I'm pretty sure you want your expectation and your energy to stay in on that level, or in that vibe. You don't want anyone around you tainting the possibilities, of you being hopeful and having a faith and trusting and believing that the divine has your back. The same spirit, the same God that has pulled you through many situations throughout your entire life is the same energy that is present. But you will be unable to see this and know this if you have the wrong people around you. If you give access to the wrong people into your home, into your circumference. They keep making me say circumference. That circle, that circle of protection, your bubble, just allowing any and everyone into your life. You have to have boundaries. It's your job to save yourself, especially if you're a parental figure. Oh, your number one job is protect and save your children. Spirit is saying we have to allow people to fend for themselves and find themselves. And often when you feel that there is an urgent matter or a financial situation or any kind of adjustment taking place in your home front, one thing you never want to do is to have the wrong energy around you. I didn't mean to rhyme that, but it did. One thing you never want to do, collective, is have the wrong energy around you. A good example of this is you could have a family that's uh all about let's hustle, let's stick together, and you decide because you know of someone who's going through a hardship or having some kind of uneasy moment, you decide to extend a helping hand, and all of a sudden, since you've decided to help this person and allow them into your home or to eat at your table, you notice that the harmony in your home, is shattered. It's like the energy, like the aura of your home has leaks in it, and the good vibes are leaking out somewhere. That's because you allowed the wrong energy to sit at your dinner table. You allowed the wrong energy to come through your front door. You're giving the wrong access. You're giving access to the wrong people. I did a reading on this yesterday. You can't give access to everyone. The denied access logo and flashing light should appear often. There should be limitations to who you allow into your personal life, who you allow around you, who you communicate with. And it's not about fear. It's about being wise and not leaving yourself so open and not giving everyone the blueprint of to who you are and what you're doing. It's like the foolishness, and I'm going to say foolishness, of putting a stack of money to your ear and posting it all over social media, you know, and then hearing that something occurred, that kind of energy. You don't give people the signal or the blueprint to what you are doing. You know, we live in a world where people are massively, in the thirsty energy of wanting to be validated and wanting attention. Everyone loves attention, everyone in the world. And it's okay to want attention, but you have to be mindful of being so thirsty for attention. Whether you are famous, wealthy, whatever your status is, you have to be mindful of being so thirsty for attention that you're sending the wrong signal, because there are people who are thirsty for what you are showing and what you are presenting, and you putting yourself out there, and you're drawing in the negative attention towards you. You're magnetizing the wrong energy towards you. When we were children in grade school, we had show and tell, where you could bring maybe your favorite toy and show the class, look what I got, look what I got. But once you become an adult, it's time to do adult things and keep a lot of things, not some things, private. Everyone does not need to see everything. Social media is a wonderful, platform, but there are many who are wise enough to utilize social media in a correct way. And then there are some who just do a little too much. Now, we have free will. You can do as you please. But in order to have longevity and to enjoy the life that you are given, you have to be wise. You have to utilize all parts of the brain. You can use your occipital lobe, you can use the frontal, you can use the temporal, you can use the transverse foramen, all parts of the brain. Yeah, you can use all parts of the brain. Allow things to be seen and known about you naturally or organically. And when I say naturally or organically, that means when you are working on a brand or business or trying to advertise something you are doing, what needs to be seen will be seen, but it does not has to be intentionally, from you trying to, oh, let me prove a point, let me show them I'm getting this, I'm getting that. People see you, they see you. But there are some things, I just got to say it one more time, that really need to stay private. These things will float on this net forever and ever, ever, and ever, ever. But if you desire longevity in whatever it is you are building or creating, don't give people a map. Don't give people a map. Don't show them, this is how. This is how. Okay, this is how. You ain't got to give everybody the Addy. See, and I don't even speak like that, but Spirit is speaking through me to give this message. Don't be so quick to follow what you think is cool. Because a lot of often what folks think is cool is actually making them look like a damn fool. You should really, I'm not even going to say should. You have to really love yourself and care about yourself to be smart and be wise. Never mind looking cool. Never mind trying to prove a point. Let people think you are broke. I don't know why. Let people think you are broke. Who cares? Like if a person is calling you broke and you want to show them that you're not, you want to show them that you're not, so you want to post what you have. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know you're gonna do it anyway, but don't do that. Enjoy life. What are you asking for? What are you trying to intrigue? What are you trying to magnetize towards you? Are you trying to magnetize thirsty people towards you? Or are you trying to have longevity and enjoy life and enjoy your brand, enjoy what you are building? Everyone has a time when they're going to exit. And this isn't about fear. But fuck being cool. And I don't even talk like that, but fuck being cool. Let's be wise. Let's just be smart. Let's utilize all of our brain. Let's do the best that we can to utilize all of our brain. There are people who will only utilize social media to advertise, and that's it. They don't come and crash out. They're not coming to show you what they have and what they're doing. They don't want you to know that. They're not trying to expose all that. Be mindful of wanting attention so bad that you're pulling in the wrong attention. Never mind the cool kids. When they are still, you roam. When they roam, it's a good time to be still. Confirmation with that loud truck just went past. That's why I was silent for a moment. The truck is roaming, so I'm going to be still. Not all the time, but yeah, it's just a time for that. So yeah, be careful because that it's a strong presence of that as you move forward, collective, you will find, and if this isn't, your story, this could be someone that you may know some people that's experiencing what I'm sharing with you or that's partaking in what I'm sharing with you. Share this message with them. Let them know to be careful. Stop showing everything. Stop telling everything. People will see you, and what are you looking for? What are you hoping for? What are you expecting behind showing everyone what you're doing every moment? If it's not about business, you're not promoting a business, a brand, something positive, uplifting. Nobody needs to know what you have, what you're doing every minute. No one needs to know that. You have to love yourself that much where you're into protecting your energy that much. You want to protect your family that much. You want to enjoy life for as long as you possibly can. There's a lot of things out of our control, but there's a lot of things that we do have control of. And it's like we be assisting things to happen. It's like we give assistance to it. And Spirit is saying, no, let them know to stop that. But to each his own, people will do what they want and you have free will. But there's a repercussion for that. The question is, do you want a life of chaos or do you want to live a life of peace? We have free will each and every day. Do you desire to live a life of chaos or do you desire to have peace? Because the loudest in the room is not the most powerful one. The most powerful person in the room is the one that is still and quiet while the storm is a brewing. That's who the powerful one is. That's the one who you should be observing. When things are chaotic and you see that one person still and they calm and they cool, that's that one right there. They're winning. They're on the winning team. That person that isn't flashing, that's that one right there. They're on the winning team. That person that wake up grateful every day and do the best they can, that's that person right there. They on the winning team. Because the more that you learn to be still and not allow certain things to move you, and you pick and choose whether you're going to be grateful or ungrateful, or whether you want to live a life of peace or chaos, you will see a pattern. You will begin to notice patterns. Spirit is saying for you, collective, to pay attention to patterns. inside your home, outside of your home, on your job, in the media. Pay attention to patterns. When things are consistently happening in a cycle, life happens in a cycle. And you will become accustomed and it'll become so normal that when you hear something, you won't be shaken or moved by it. You'll be okay with it. You'll be like, oh, it's an illusion again. Let me chill out. Let me have a seat. Another illusion. Oh, let me stretch and turn over type ish. Let me keep resting and just chilling out and all is well. Yeah. You say a war, what war? Type ish. Oh, let me turn over and you know, we have to be mindful of what we choose to give our energy and time to. The little things, that we brush off, the things we say we don't believe in, the things that we sit and say that's not true, those are the very things that somebody needs to be running to. Just about everything that you are refusing, you are rejecting, everything that you are calling fake, these are the very things you need to be running towards, researching, seeing how it can fit in your life you know um, when change is happening outside of you, when you are observing different things happening outside in the world, on social media, it doesn't matter what it is, in your community, there is some kind of connection inside of you to that thing that is happening outside of you, and it doesn't have to be always negative. And that's what I mean when I said find the light. Spirit was saying, find the light. Tell them to find the positive in the situation. Source wants you to know it's not all bad. It's not what you think. That's the only way I can convey it. I'm not getting, it's not what you think. It's not all bad. It is not all bad. So this concludes the read, and I trust and hope that it finds you for your highest good and that you be encouraged and share this message. Do not let anyone persuade you to do anything foolish. Um, get those people from around you or simply remove yourself. You may have to, I'm picking up on someone who's nervous about telling someone to leave their home. Well, you're going to have to be brave and just say it once. You don't need to say it twice, the Spirit is saying. Just ask them to leave and say it once. Say it once. You don't have to say it twice. Something about them psychologically thinking that you want to have a ping pong conversation. If you repeat, I said leave, psychologically, people sometimes tend to think that they can waver your decision or, that you're not sure of the message you are conveying. So it's something about you saying it once. Look, you got to go. And when you say it with authority, don't have a smile on your face. You got to go. I don't want you here. And allow that person to leave and don't let them return. This is someone who is very negative. They have a negative mindset. They're always thinking about how to plan, plot, strategize, and hurt someone, harm someone, or take something from someone. There's something about you removing this person from your home. This part is for somebody in particular because this person is doing something out in the street that may come back to your front door that doesn't have nothing to do with you. So this could be someone that maybe spends the night from time to time. I don't know. Maybe they pull up, drink with you, smoke with you. I don't know, play cards with you. Maybe they come on a Friday, fishing Friday night, fish and chips night, whatever. This person could be a friend of the family, a friend of your spouse, whomever. And even if your spouse is mad about it, it's time for this person to not be in your home. It's something they are connected to out in the streets that can come back to your doorstep, and divine does not want you being caught in the crossfire. Okay, you, your spouse, your children, or anyone for that matter, or your address, your residence. Be mindful of allowing yourself to interact with different people. You don't know what people are doing when they turn their back. None of us know what each other is doing, period, when you turn your back. As they say, when you bend the corner, you don't know where nobody is going. None of us know where each other is going, what we're involving ourselves in. And that's something to marinate on, to sit on and carry with you. You don't know what nobody is up to or what they are connected or affiliated with. Point blank, period. Yeah, I talk about them things on my channel that people don't want to touch on, period. We do that. We do that over here. We do that over here because these are things that needs to be communicated. These are also things that I speak on that be in the back of people's mind. They think and they don't want to say nothing about it, but it be on their mind and it be bothering them. And people want answers. Folks want answers. It be crossing your mind, but you haven't said nothing. You can't be in your own home and, it's reminding me of the scene of The Color Purple. You ain't allow them people to do that. You the head of your own table. It's reminding me. I can't, I got a comedic mindset. You are the head of your own table. You cannot be allowing anybody up in the crib all willy-nilly. You don't know what these folks connected to. And I'm picking up that some of these people are connected to some things. You don't need that type of heat and that type of trouble. You want to be able to sit on your front porch in peace. You want to be able to go take the trash out in peace. You don't want no surprises because someone was visiting your home so frequently that they got into some ish out in the streets and someone assumed that your address, your residence, was their home. Be mindful, collective. Later.